The Global Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction is the main global forum to assess and discuss progress and the implementation of the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction. The meeting provided an opportunity for the United Nations Disaster Risk Reduction Regional Director for Africa and the Gambian delegation to exchange progress information, areas for further development, and funding opportunities. The United Nations Disaster Risk Reduction has supported the Gambia to implement various key activities, one of the most recent being the risk profiling. Risk profiles provides a comprehensive view of hazards, risks, and uncertainties for floods and droughts in a changing climate. Professor Mohamed Emoka, the ambassador of the Gambia to the United Nations office in Geneva, stresses the need for UNDRR to help the Gambia get the right data infrastructure.
Early warning systems are driven by quality data that analytics are applied to them to enable prediction forecasting for mitigation. So data is important, but more importantly, what we need in the country is a data infrastructure that we can use to propel platforms and services that permeates across the ecosystem of disaster, and ensure that this data infrastructure is coupled with building the capacity and competencies of talented young Gambians, men and women.
Rohim Malik Lowe, the mayor of Banjul, used the opportunity to call for more support for councils.
The importance of taking the funding down to people who feels it. So if we talk about local government or if we talk about disaster, who are the people that suffers? Indeed, is the community. So this is why I put emphasis to say that bring the funding, bring capacity building to local government.
Studies show that majority of cities with large areas at or under sea level would be inundated under a 1 meter sea level rise due to their low-lying nature. Mayor Lowe delved into how her council is working on tackling risks.
In collaboration with NDMA, we are doing a lot. Everybody knows that Banjul is on the sea level. So if you look at the EU funding, most of the EU funding has addressed disaster. The coconuts that we are planting at the beachside is there to help and to complement what the government is doing and to help mitigate erosion in Banjul.
We engaged the regional director of the United Nations Disaster Risk Reduction for Africa, Amjad Abashar, and this is his perception on the work of the Gambia after the meeting.
I think the impression that I got is that of a very committed country to disaster risk reduction, a country that has already its ideas and its plans, to be honest, and knows what it really wants to do with disaster risk reduction. But what it needs is, when you get a commitment like that, is what you need is to have the support. And that support, I'm not talking about just international, but it's very important to also illustrate that support domestically.
Bilateral meetings as such are ways in which the Global Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction showcases the need for international solidarity as well as cooperation to enable means of tackling risk drivers both locally and globally. Now, Gambians back home at this point in time are more concerned about the actions that will be derived from meetings as such. When is that going to be? I am not sure. Reporting for QTV News from Bali, Indonesia, I am Jenna Basonko.